Well, it ain't my software. Oh, it is. All right, there seems to be a problem with the Logi software. Let's see, how would I change that? I'm not sure. Let's see. I guess you can't do anything about that. Okay, let's see, edit. No, cancel. Live chat, enable live chat, allow chat to replay. Live redirect, monetization, it's all okay. Save that okay. It looks like I have no control over the cameras. There's something going on with that, so you guys are stuck with the crappy camera business. I'll have to look into that later. As most know, I was over John's today. We got this put together, and I'm going to continue on from where I left off. I have no life, nothing better to do. So we got one watcher anyway. Maybe somebody will come on. This is pretty stout here. I got to get this whittled down. Let's see what it weighs. I no longer have a workbench that I can work on here. I have to work on the airplane, so this bad boy here weighs 27 grams, 1 ounce. So I got to get that down to a 1/4 ounce, and I will be able to do that by taking everything away. This is pretty stout, really. 1 ounce, wow. Anyhow, we're going to go on to the blocking of this bell crank system, and superfill. We'll get that done tonight anyway. Superfill on the inside. This thing is straight, that's for sure. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove the cowl. Let's see here. Because I need to get a measurement on how much I can drop this. I don't like all this beef up here. There's just way too much beef. So we'll put the motor in it here. Oh yeah, I can drop it a whole lot. Can't let it go, it'll flip off of here. I have to get a pen here to make a mark on it. Need a pen, there's the pen. Make sure it writes. Come on. Why does life have to be so difficult? Let's see if well, it'll be close. I was talking today about Did I put the needle valve on the cowl separation line? I did not. It's a 1/4 inch up, so there'll be a 1/4 inch slot in it. But that's the way it goes. Wasn't thinking. So I can cut that much off of this. Actually, not really. Maybe that much. Prototyping. Let's see about this. One more try. One more look at it. Oh yeah. Yep, I can cut the crap off of that. So first thing I'm going to do, make a mark here. Need to see the bottom. Well, if I cut the bottom of that off, then I got to cut the bottom of that off. Well, I have to wait on that. I want everything to fit right, so I can't do that. All right, so now let's get to the, let's get off there. Let's get to the bell crank brace. And how are we going to cut that? I think that's in the car. Hang on a second, I gotta go get the jigsaw. I'm gonna have to get a bigger place. I just don't have any room for anything in here. So I leave stuff in the car, I leave stuff in my trailer parked at work. Can't do nothing. All right, so we got this. We got one of these now, quarter cable. Shit, I'm missing something. Sawzall. And of course, there's no blade in it. Oh man. Can't win. Can't win. Okay. So that's out of the question. What am I gonna do? We don't let little things like that stop us. So what are we gonna do? I need There's a piece of basswood. I'd really like to have plywood on there, not basswood. Suppose I know it seems like I'm unorganized. It's because I am. Dan is making me some type of tool caddy. Someday, if I ever get that, I'll have some place to put some tools. But that means that I will have to put them back every time, which might be easier said than done. I think tomorrow I'll take a day and clean this place up so I can find what I'm looking for. I got one more airplane's worth of titanium motor mounts. So we'll do that. Yeah, we got a piece there. So I'm going to use light ply in that instead. We will cut 2 pieces of light ply, drill a hole, put it in there. The way that these are constructed, my airplanes, you will never pull that bell crank out of the airplane, even if I didn't have this on it. I normally use 7 ply, but because of the situation here, we're going to use light ply, and it won't matter. I will just cut 2 squares here. I should have done this while I was over John's, but there's only so much a guy can do in a day. I thought I'd get a jump on it, and because it's my birthday, and I don't have anything better to do. I don't go out and drink or whatever. So we'll work on airplanes. That's what I like to do. Okay. Normally I go all the way across, but there's no need for it. We'll just glue in these, and I'm going to angle them off, remove some of the excess material. Thank you, Alan. I'm 39 and holding. Okay, I've sanded this piece into a shape like this. It's going to go right here. Except I probably sanded it. That'll be fine. It'll be fine. You know what? Let's do it this way. I'm in no rush. I got plenty of time. Will I make the nats with this airplane? Absolutely. Even if I'm sleeping. So I'll do it like this instead. Okay. I'll get in here with a camera shot here as soon as I get this made up, and I'll show you what it does. Of course, it's not a secret. Back in the day, everything was a secret, but today with me, nothing's a secret, because I don't know anything anyway. I've got to clean this mess up. I've got this bent 1/8" drill bit here. Throw that one there. I brought an 1/8 from work from Snap-on, which is probably about 10,000 times better than Harbor Freight. Okay, so this let's get this in here so you can see what's going on. This piece here goes over the top of the bell crank pivot. I need to open that up a little more. There we go. So it gets one on the top, one on the bottom. This stick is no good. I cut it too small. So let's epoxy that down, and I'll turn it over and we'll do the other side. Okay, we'll get this. Need to clean out my superfill mixer. You know what? I think I'll save that for superfill because we're going to do that. We'll use this one for epoxy. This is the one that I had mixed epoxy in. It's that easy. I love these. These are great. John uses paper, little paper squares, which is fine. Just more crap to hang around. This here works really well. I love these things. We ended up with my standard cowl mounting application. One screw, one pin. Some goobers on me. So I'm going to have to make a new foam or some type of mold because I don't like how the mold fits. Okay, so do I have any Q-tips handy? Probably not. Ah, I do. Wipe the glue off, the excess glue off. That's how you keep airplanes light. Keep the stuff off of it. So that's good there. I'm gonna cut them down too, I think. I don't know what I was thinking. Way too much here. You probably think, well, this is too far overboard, cutting all this extra wood away. But trust me, if it's not glued to something and it's too big or whatever, you don't need it. So that's I took care of that. And if you do that enough times, you got to think about it this way. That little bit didn't mean anything. But if you do that enough times, it adds up. Like here, there's a 64th hanging over, maybe a 32nd. Well, I'm going to cut that away. First off, it's hardwood, so it's heavier than balsa. Not glued to anything, it's hanging in the breeze. So cut it off. Pretty good. Not only that, when someone looks at your airplane, it doesn't look finished when stuff's not. Well, I don't know what answer I gave you, but you're more than welcome. So we got that. Let's there it is. So let's sand it. Make it pretty. That's better. Now I can sleep. Almost dry. Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, covering. Go with the lightest. See, medium tissue, light tissue, heavy tissue. That's not where your strength is. The strength is in the dope. You're not. All you're trying to do is have something for the dope to sit on. So use the lightest stuff you can use. Okay, we got that. That looks pretty good. So let's flip it over. That's dry enough to flip over, and we'll do a top piece. And this will all get super filled inside here. The nice thing about Superfill is it's rock hard, and it's light, really light. Probably build a whole airplane out of Superfill. What the heck happened to the knife there, dude? I'm just cutting this away so I got something for the plywood to stick to. Oh no, that'll be a tinker if I don't get it out. You guys ever build an airplane? You take it, go ting, ting, ting. You don't want to do that. It'll drive you nuts. End up having to cut the covering off. Well, that worked nice. Lucked out. Got these sanded in about equal. I mean, I will have to tweak on them a little bit, but I got some extra epoxy that's kind of run down. I'm going to get that off as well. Oh, I got to have a little room here with this camera. Can't be on top of me. Well, that's some stout shit. I guess I'll just force Superfill down in there. Okay, so let's cut another piece. And we'll sand it to shape. Did I get it? Yeah, we got it plenty. We got plenty. And we're going to have to cut this back a little more. Cut her back. I'm going to put this one sideways this way because the other one could possibly be in the way if I ever have to run a pipe. So that's why I only got a halfway to go. But I want to get this, like I say, I want to get the Superfill in this tonight. And that'll probably do our hour. And it will be over an hour. Time I do that. So I will have worked 4 or 5, about 8 hours on this airplane today. So 8 days were caught up in one day. I'll put that there. I know that it just about kills John every time I come over there and run him for 8 hours. He's not used to working like that. Okay, we need to cut that back some more. But see, even though I'm old, I still work every day, 9 hours a day, and bust ass. I don't think I'll ever stop. I'm tired sometimes, and it's hard to get up off on and off up and down off the ground from underneath them trucks, but we'll get her. I noticed that I've been standing on my feet for the last 45 years. Of course, I'm 39 and holding. But when I sit down, I get seized up. It's hard to get back up. It's best just to keep moving. So I'll have plenty of time to rest when I'm dead. Let's see, what do we got going here? I need to move this forwards. Okay, so I have a slight issue with the pile of dope up around there, so I want to relieve that. Can't have no dope holding this up. Ooh, I cut my finger off. Okay. So let's recap this. Inside the wing, there's a basswood spar that runs from here to here, 1 inch wide. The bell crank's suspended between it. Then the sheeting is epoxied onto the top of that spar, which is epoxied to the 3/16 spars that run all the way out to the end of the wing. Then the wing is then, or the fuselage is then glued to the wing. Then this is a capture device on top and bottom that captures that piece in the fuselage. And this will all be super filled on the inside and out. So this all becomes one piece. You tell me how you're going to take that piece of wire and pull it out the wing. There's not going to be a chance. If you're operating a pull tester at the Nats, I can jerk you right off the feet and drag you out of the parking lot if the lines will hold up. I have no problem full testing airplanes. Puts a lot of stress on the end of the line, so that's the only problem. But will the bell crank pull out? No, not a chance. And I've seen some top 5 flyers, matter of fact, 2 years in a row, pull a bell crank out of their airplane at the Nats. I guess they didn't watch my videos. Kind of like you could never pull a bell crank out of an I-beam wing that I built either. Not a chance. Because it goes through the spar and suspended by the top and bottom inside the fuselage as well. Okay, got that. Let's get a Q-tip. Okay. Any questions on bell crank mounts? It's pretty simple. What is the pull pounds in this class of model? 10 times its weight. So if it weighs 60 ounces, it has to pull 600, not 600 pounds. Let's see, what the hell, how's that work out? $60 is what? How many? 3 pounds? It has to pull 32 pounds or whatever. Let's see here. 60 ounces divided by 16, 375. It has to pull 37.5 pounds. So it weighs 60. What's bad is when you hit 65 ounces, then it's 40 pounds, I think. 65 ounces divided by 16. Yep, has to pull 41 pounds. Unless you're a speed plane, then it'll have to pull 100 pounds, but so I'll hold this down. I want that to be in there. So that's one of the reasons to make things light. But the biggest factor making this stuff light is when you're flying along at 55 miles an hour and you pull a 4G turn, 1 ounce becomes 4 ounces. 1 pound becomes 4 pounds. 2 pounds becomes 8 pounds. 3 pounds. You see, it just and then it exponentially gets worse. I mean, it magnifies itself. So light is good. And when the wind whips up, a 70-ounce model, and I'm 165 to 170 pounds, a 70-ounce model in the wind winding up will drag me all across the circle. I mean, just it's ridiculous. Okay, bell crank's all locked up in there. Spar, sheeting, even the tissue heads to it, all the dope and everything over the top of it. And then this bracing here, and then we'll get the superfill in it. So where's my superfill mixer? I got to take a second to clean this out. Superfill comes out easier than epoxy. And break it out of here. Come on now. Get out of there. Bring on the dancing, girls. They're upstairs shaving. Okay, well, that's good enough. I will show superfill. I'm getting the container cleaned out right now for mixing. Ouch! That went up my fingernail. That was nice. Hard, hard, hard. Get that cleaned out. That hurt. Okay. Superfill, this is a quart. It comes in two parts. This mixes up to be a quart. Part A, part B. This is the catalyst. It's 2 parts of this to 1 part of this. So, and don't mix the sticks. If you take your stick from part A and stick it in part B, you'll have a big hard rock. I'll leave that here. And another thing about superfill, here's superfill, is you want to continually turn it over. So if you leave it for a week in this position, the next week turn it over in that position. You did what today? Did you do superfill? Okay, 2 to 1. I'm not going to be able to show it because I'm over here at this bench. And it's not a science project. It's just an about. Uh-oh. Yeah, don't use the same stick. So you just get a yay amount in there. Get a fresh stick. And don't use 2 sticks when you're doing this. Don't use 1 stick. And here's the creamy part. And put about 50% of what you just put in the tub. And if you don't get quite 50%, it'll just dry a little slower. That's all. So here we got that. If you get more than 50%, it'll dry a little faster. And then just knead it over. Gonna mix it up. It kind of turns a green, a light pea green when it's fully mixed. Sand's super easy. Well, of course, we're not going to sand inside here. I'm just, this is all structural. This is not cosmetic on the inside of the fuselage here. But you do want to have it mixed super good. If you look here, you can see it's white and blue. You don't want to see any white streaks in it. Keep mixing until it's all creamy smooth. Probably could do it in a blender. Kind of screw up the blender blades though. All right, we got a little bit of cake frosting. And then just take the stick and get you some in there. You know what? I don't have any paper towel. Damn, I have to use toilet paper. Because I'm going to get my fingers in it. Now, just because I mixed all this doesn't mean we're going to use all this. So I'm putting it on and it's squishing through to the other side, which is fine. Because like I say, this is a structural usage here. I'm trying to bond the fuselage to the wing. And when it's done, it'll be bonded. Now, the way that Randy designs his airplanes, the motor mounts go all the way back to the high point of the wing and rest on the top of the wing. I don't do that. It's carrying around too much hardwood. So if you super fill this stuff, it locks the nose up. Let me get some TP. I don't think I have any more paper towel. Ah, I do. Man, we lucked out. I do. Squishing out to the outside already. I'll clean that up. Okay, do the other side here. Need to close this up so it don't, in case it gets garbage in it. Is this necessary? I think it is. A lot of people would say no. Probably adds a 1/4 ounce. But it sure is nice knowing that your fuselage is not going to fly off like the Brazilians did one year. Them poor guys. I asked them if they used glue. It was bad. Be neat with this because there's no sense in carrying around any more than you have to. And I don't think I have any alcohol, or I'd smooth it out too. We're going to put a little daub on top of the pivot pin to encapsulate that. And will this stuff stick to metal? Absolutely. It'll lock that in there. So we'll go around that little platform. Absolutely. So now we got to get what we can off. I don't want to carry around any more than it absolutely takes to do the job. Pretty good day today. Got quite a bit accomplished. Tomorrow it's on to making molds and getting the top and bottom skin made up. I didn't like what I made up. Those were generic parts. Now I have the airplane. I can actually cut and fit the exact piece that I need instead of a generic. So that'll be better. John says, well, you could use the molds over here. Yeah, I could, but that would be exactly the same what I have here. Generic mold. I mean, it wasn't designed to fit this airplane. So it's best to make unless you're going to build the same airplane over and over again, it's best to make a new mold for every airplane. That way they fit exact. Okay, so we have that all super filled in. This is turned, when this dries, this is turned this piece into one piece. On the top, we'll do the bottom here. Let's see if we can go a little faster. We'll use my finger. Oh, don't push too hard. I hear some cracking. It's like frosting a cake, only with your finger. I know I've shown this before in other videos. You know, if you guys go back and really look at my how-to videos, I did hinges, covering, painting, design. I did everything. You know, so all I'm doing here is redundant stuff, but you guys seem to enjoy watching me do this stuff. At least maybe I keep you company while you're building on something. So. Remember, this stuff is epoxy, so it's hard when it dries. It's hard, hard, hard. It does sand easy, but it's hard. Back in the day, I used to use microballoons and epoxylite. And I could get epoxylite smoothed out where you didn't have to sand it. But boy, you better work quick. And it better be right, the right mix, because it used to kick off. And if it would kick off, you'd be halfway through the job and be hard as a rock. And there ain't no sand in that stuff. Okay. Now this airplane here, I wish I wouldn't have done it the way I did, but it's too late. I designed it with the thought of maybe someday having to do the operation and putting a pipe in here, so I get a little more breast down here than actually needed. But that's okay, because maybe I'll put a pipe in it. You never know. Depends on how this muffler works out. But you know, a PA-75 has so much power, I don't see why it would need a pipe. PA-75 is a 61 stroke with a 90 piston. So it's way overboard and it got a lot of torque. Over square. Oh, we didn't get none right there. Do your job and do it right. Now, if you want it to look real slick, I don't have any alcohol. I could take rubbing alcohol, come back and really slick this stuff down. But it's not on the outside, and it's not that important to look that good inside. Let me look here. Do I have any? Nope. Nope. No alcohol. We take a little alcohol and you can slick her way down. Really thin it out nice. But as I said, or you could lick your finger, but no, you'll only do it once. Any alcohol down here? Nope. I'll have to get some tomorrow. %91 works the best. 70 will work, but I need to get a little more on that top of that stud. Remember what I said. I mixed all that up. Just because we mixed it all doesn't mean you have to use it all. You want just enough to do the job. Okay, so that's it. I hope you guys got something out of this. I noticed we 11 viewers and 4 thumbs up. I wet my finger and tool it down. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. But I use alcohol. If I had some, I'd do it. I don't see any. Let me look in this cabinet here. Let me look over here. I mean, like I say, this apartment is so tiny that I have to move everything around just to get in somewhere. No alcohol. No alcohol, so it is what it is. I'll get some tomorrow. It'll be fine. Mark's famous last words, it'll be fine. So that's what it looks like. All sealed up in there. What that does is it makes everything become one piece. So recap on that. The lock I've told you about on the bell crank, but the lock about the wing, this is keyed into the fuselage. If you look back at the video today, there's a notch in the front of this wing that when I separate this fuselage in halves, this front half of the fuselage plugs on to the wing in a notch. It's all epoxied together, and there's carbon on the doubler. So this thing is locked down. There ain't no way to move it. I'd hate to get hit by one of these. Of course, then after the paper is on the fuselage, after the fiberglass is on the nose, it's going to get these long swoopy plywood. I'll probably do, I don't have a coffee can. Maybe I'll use this. The fillet will be that big. Yeah, we'll use this. The fillet will be that big. That'll all be filled with superfill. This will all come down, go this way, and the superfill will lock this nose onto the wing. This will all be glass. So this whole thing becomes locked up. I mean, I don't normally do fillets that big, but this is a tribute airplane, and we're going to try to make it look somewhat like the original Continental. The other Continental XL I did very minimalistic. It was 70 ounces though, because I used the dreaded urethane. Urethane paint. That's a killer. You guys say it only adds an ounce, or lying. I can tell you that right now. Whatever you spray on stays on. So whatever that paint weighed in the cup, that's exactly what it weighs on the airplane. Looks good though. That stuff looks great. It looks like you really knew what you were doing. I don't have any gin. I don't drink either. June 11th will be my 30th year with no drinks or drugs. So I plan to make it all the way to the end with nothing. I've abused the privilege. Yep, we'll get them light ply. I use 64th light ply fillets in here to hold the superfill, but I won't do that until after the glass is on the nose. The glass has to be on the nose. And as I showed today, it looks like I'm going to have to make another pilot, because I had cut that pilot off to fit in my other airplane. So I cut his shoulders down, and this is a wider fuselage. So he sits way down in there like so. He might work. but he's in there like so. But at least I can have a pretty detailed cockpit, because I don't have him sitting over the top of the push rod. So try to keep the cockpit detail down to a minimum. Things like I did on my Monado, where the dashboard is, I took the dashboard and printed it on a piece of paper, glued the paper on a piece of balsa wood, sprayed it with clear, and put it in for the dashboard. You know, those type of light accents, painted accents. You don't want to, you know, Aviojet, he'd put little whiz-wazzle gum things with bibs and bobbles on there. You know, probably spent a month building this cockpit and probably weighs 5 ounces. No, that ain't for me. Because there was a time, like on my S6B Supermarine, which is 58 ounces, I had to be convinced to put a pilot in it, because this turd here weighs 3 grams, just his head. So, you know, a full pilot's going to weigh half an ounce or better. And do you really want to give up that weight? I mean, this is a Tommy Looper painted pilot. Oh, he just nosedived into the superfill. But he's too small, so we have to do a bigger one. All right, guys, been on for an hour and 12 minutes. I'm going to come back tomorrow. We'll continue working on this. I will probably do some other odds and ends. We'll cut the saddle for the elevator stabilizer and build the molds, and maybe do that. It'll be an all-day project. I'm going to get some more shirts up. If you guys have, I got 2 shirts up on Teespring now. I probably need to put a link in the description or whatever to grab you a Stunt Hanger shirt. Plus I should do 2 more tonight. We'll do the Eric Bryn spinning plate shirt that he made me. I really like that one, where I'm busier in a one-arm paper hanger and a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. So it's different. You see how that spewed out from the inside to the outside? Well, it's going to get fillet on the outside, but I don't want it migrating out too far till after it's papered. But that definitely locks the thank you, Greg. That definitely locks the fuselage down. When it's dry, you won't be able to move that. Not a bit. Not at all. All right, guys. That's all I got for this evening. I appreciate you watching. And we'll see you tomorrow around 10 o'clock in the morning. Until then, fair winds, tight lines. See ya.